SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya is tracking that story and joins us live now. A very good afternoon to Nozintombi. I can see you at a very different vantage point. You've got a view, a little bit of a higher view over the city. Take us through what you can see.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nzinga. Where we're standing, we have a bird's eye view of where we're standing. We've come to the rooftop of the building that's opposite the Usindiso building that burnt. And as my camera colleague Kwazi Manzi is panning and showing you what's happening here, let's give you some information. We do know that earlier in the day, the K9 unit came with the sniffer dogs and did a sweep of the different floors. Since then, we've seen a contingent of emergency workers, emergency personnel come here with a gurney, what looks like a gurney. And less than 5 minutes after they came with that gurney, a forensics truck just went in. And it's a pity where we're standing, it's a little bit closed off, but the pathology truck itself is just behind a little copse of trees there. And that is expected to assist emergency workers collect the last few remains that were possibly identified by the K9 unit. But you can see from where we're standing, it is a different vantage point. We're seeing into the windows of the people. And this is a question that has been asked of me throughout the day. What have they left? What have they lost? And this is what we're seeing. We are seeing clothes that have been left because people left in a hurry. You can see people's bags. You can see the shoes. You can see the irons. You can see, I think for me, what has possibly been the most haunting is seeing this T-shirt, which is a T-shirt of a young school child, a primary school child. And you can just imagine that if that young primary school child did not make it out from this 5th floor, what has then happened to this child? Their family, the child and the child's family have lost everything. They've lost absolutely everything. And this is the visual reminder, the visual evidence of what we're seeing, of how desperate the people were to get out. The windows are shattered. They're broken out. They're open. You can just imagine the amount of desperation that the people had trying to jump out of the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th floor and unable to do that. And what we're seeing, we're also seeing the burn marks here. And the burn marks tell us that this is probably the point of origin of the fire. That means the 1st floor, the ground floor, and the 2nd floor subsequent to it was simply too hot for residents to get out of. The people that lived in this area were the most affected. And this is what emergency services have been saying to us, that people that came to this main front gate here were unable to go out because the gate was closed. And you can see the steps inside there by the steps, that each of the levels had a gate, and the gates were locked. So it was difficult for them to move around because of that security issue, or that added security issue. And that's why the fatality numbers went up as high as they have. I mean, you just see this curtain, this lonely curtain just blowing in the wind with no one to close that window, because that window is broken. And that is such a visual representation of what is happening right now. And this is truly what has been lost by the people here. Not just the loss of the human life, but the loss of their way of lives. And I'm just going to ask my camera colleague Kwazi Manzi to just show you even more what the street looks like. And it has been looking like this since the early hours of Thursday morning. It's littered with people. There are emergency services, there are fire trucks, media, vested interests. The road is a lot less packed than it was yesterday. There were more cars, there were more people, obviously because it was the very beginning. There was a lot more chaos and a lot more pandemonium. And where you're looking right now, this is where the 72 bodies were laid out. And there was worry about the lack of space, and that they would run out of space if more bodies were found. You can sort of see inside the building, there's an emergency services guy inside there. Kwazi, there's inside the window, you can actually see that they're doing a sweep. I think they're holding a torch there, and that means that they are on the, if we're counting 1, 2, 3, they're on the 4th floor, I think. And there's actually quite a few of them coming out from there, going all the way down the stairs. You can actually see them coming down the stairs. And what Robert Molaudzi has told us is that the emergency services are now doing a final sweep of the inside because they don't actually know whether or not they missed anything, and they don't want to be caught unawares, and they want to make sure that the fire has been stamped out completely, obviously to make it easier for authorities to then come in and do the proper investigation about what the cause of the fire was and give us an official line, officially what was the cause of the fire. And they're also making sure that they have not, in their retrieval operation, they have not missed out on any, they haven't missed out on any of, any bodies, if there are any bodies that they missed out, or any people that were left inside there and they were unable to get them in, obviously, the panic and the terror of overnight. So in Nzinga, it is still a very active scene, but we have been told that there are emergency personnel are drawing to a close, and they would be handing over the scene to the police for their investigations. Nzinga.